So today I'm going to share my story of dissatisfaction and how I went from being miserable and depressed to doing what I love. You'll get to learn from my failures and all the mistakes I did, and above all, you'll see that you're not alone in whatever you're going through. Everyone has their struggles and failures, and everyone makes mistakes. It's normal and to be expected. So, what you're going through is exactly what needs to happen for you to realize your dreams and live the lifestyle you desire. It's easy to believe that something is wrong or start doubting yourself when in reality everything is going exactly as it should be. Now, sometimes you may need to do a few tweaks here and there, conduct a few experiments, and just keep going. But whatever you do, don't give up on your dreams just because you haven't seen instant success. Things are just hard sometimes. So let's dive into the story. 5 years ago, I was miserable. I felt like something was missing from my life, but I didn't know what. I saw all these people who were fulfilled, they were living lives of purpose, and they seemed to have everything, while I seemed to have nothing. I mean, I had things, but it felt like a huge part of my life was somewhere else. I was trying to buy more stuff and get cars and travel and do all these things to avoid what I really felt inside. So I was basically feeling like I was living someone else's life, and deep down I couldn't stand it. I was being dishonest with what I really felt called to do. Now, at this point, I was making a nice living playing online poker, and we'll get to that in a second, but playing poker wasn't what I truly wanted to do. And at that point, I didn't even know I could follow my passion. It's kind of like if someone puts 4 cards in front of you, and all you see are those 4 cards. So you aren't even aware of the rest of the deck. And that's kind of what was going on for me. I felt like I was stuck and I didn't have any possibilities. And I think that's usually what goes on in everybody's life. Even now, when I'm doing what I enjoy doing, I still have that focus and I'm still missing possibilities. So that's fine. Now, luckily, I figured all of that out. I figured out how to find my passion and how to turn it into a business. But before we go into that, let's backtrack a few years to where my search for liberation truly started. And in order to do that, we have to go all the way back to when I was 16 and got my first summer job. And that job was doing basic gardening tasks and picking up trash in the city. And I have to say that it wasn't something that I truly wanted to do, but it really opened my eyes to the fact that I didn't want to be stuck from 9 to 5 or 8 to 4, working for someone else or doing something I didn't truly enjoy doing. So it opened my eyes, but I still did it. I worked for a few weeks and made, I think, $500 to $700. And I used that money to buy computer parts and upgrade my computer and all that stuff that I did at that time. Now, next summer, I got another summer job, but this time it was washing boxes. Now, I had a friend who got me a sweet job, which probably paid us $800 this time for 2 weeks' work. But something interesting happened while I was working washing boxes, because my friend had a friend who was making some money playing online poker. Now, at that time, I felt like poker was a complete scam, or it was only for people who had a lot of luck. But deep down, something happened, because after that, I started studying poker and I really got into it. And once I started buying books and visiting forums online and really seeing that it was possible to make a living playing online poker, I probably bought around 30 to 35 books on poker all in all, and I read them all. A few of them I read several times. And that's how I got started on poker. Now, I've never put any of my own money into poker. So what I did is I played these tournaments on online poker sites called free rolls. So you could enter a tournament for free, and if you placed, say, in the top 100, you would get some money. And I won a few dollars here and there, and I quickly lost them for about, I did this for 6 months, and I really got frustrated because I wasn't seeing any progress. But then one day I won, I think, $1 or something along those lines, and I went to the cash tables, and $1 turned to 4, and 4 to 10, then to 100, then to 1,000, and to 10,000, and from there on, I made my living playing online poker, and I did that from the age of 18 to the age of 23. Now, after a few years of playing poker, I started feeling like something was missing again. I had a lot more money this time, and I had the ability to travel, and I had a lot of freedom, but something was still missing. And something poker taught me was that money does not equal happiness. Now, a certain amount of money is always good, but having more money when you're not fulfilled or doing something that you feel is meaningful does not really make you happier. So like I said, after a few years of playing poker in 2006, I started looking at other opportunities, and one of those opportunities was building websites online and making money that way. So what I did was I paid someone to build me a website on, I think it was golf clubs, and I thought that if I paid someone, they put a website up and I'd be making money and everything would be awesome. So that didn't exactly happen. What happened was the website was set up and everything looked good, and then I had no traffic, I made no money, and nothing really happened, and I let the website expire. And I kept playing poker until the next year in 2007, when I had my second failure. And this is when I wasted the most money, because I spent around $8,000 on internet business coaching, and they promised me that I would be making a few $1,000s within 6 months. And you can probably guess what happened. Nothing. Although I'm not going to blame all of that on the people that helped me, because I had a part to play in that. I sabotaged my own success in a way because I was looking for a quick fix. I wanted to just make money and start getting sales or selling products and then being able to sit back and do nothing. So that turned out not so good. And then I kept playing poker, and then the next year in 2008, I had my third failure, where I started a poker website, and I basically did no research at all into what I was going to offer, how I was going to stand out, and how I was going to make money doing this. I just went after something I was good at and interested in. And I think a lot of people do this. At first, they just follow something they're interested in, and then after a while, they realize that this isn't going to make them any money. And those that keep on going, they refine the process and eventually find the intersection between what they want to do and what other people are willing to pay them for. So that was my third failure, and all while I was doing this, I was jumping from opportunity to opportunity. I was falling for get-rich-quick schemes and online business programs that sold for $27 and promised me that I'd make millions within a month, and all of that stuff that you see online, I've fallen for. I've been there. I've made most of the mistakes and hit my head against the wall many, many times. So in 2008, after that site, I wasn't seeing anything happening. I entered a period of despair because I just felt like I'm never going to succeed at this. Everything feels overwhelming and I feel stuck, and maybe I have to get a job in the future, or maybe I have to keep playing poker, which I now hate. So I really was depressed and down at that point. But as they say, when you're really depressed and down, usually that's when something is about to happen. That's when a breakthrough is about to occur. And that's exactly what happened. Now, it didn't happen right away. It took until the next year in 2009 when I had my first really successful website. And when I started seeing my website taking off and making money, I think it started making $500 within just a few months, 3 to 6 months. What I did was I quit playing poker cold turkey, and I haven't played a hand of poker since I think March 2009, which is over 3 years now. Now at this point, a lot of people ask me how I dealt with the uncertainty of just quitting something that was bringing in income. Now I did have a safety cushion in my bank account, so I was able to live on the money I'd saved for 6 to 12 months at least, and I knew that if I had to, I could go back to poker and at least make enough money to support my rent and food habit. Now, would I recommend anyone else just quit their job and start doing this? Probably not, because it's always easier when you're not stressed out about needing to make money right away. But in the end, you alone have to decide what you want to do and what you can do, because even if you quit your job and it doesn't work out, the worst case is that you might have to get another job. Although if you have kids or a family, you may have to plan a little bit better. So what changed? I mean, what was it that made me successful with this website? And what I'd have to say is that first, I got a mentor, someone who was doing what I wanted to do, and I asked them for feedback on everything I did, and I followed their instructions as precisely as I could. And the other factor was that I changed my mindset. I stopped jumping from opportunity to opportunity, and I focused on one project. I focused on making this one website work. And it did work. And it eventually grew to thousands of dollars in income per month, and it's still bringing in money, but not as much, because I haven't touched it in, I think, 2 or 2.5 years, but it's still bringing in some income via advertising and affiliate income. Now, when I got that website off the ground, I started focusing on another income stream because I wanted to see if I could pull this off again. So I started focusing on using article marketing to promote affiliate products. And it did work because I again focused all my energy on this one project, and I used article marketing to get my affiliate income up to $1,000 per month within, I think, 6 months. And this was at the end of 2009. So I was making several $1,000s each and every month. And that's also when I realized that the taxes are really high in Sweden. So I moved to Spain with my girlfriend, where we spent most of 2010. But at the end of 2009, I also did something else, which leads us into the question of how I found my passion. So what I did is I started my blog, which is wakeupcloud.com. Now at first it started off as a really vague personal development blog. Like I feel like a lot of people, when they don't know what to do, they start a personal development blog, and as they keep going, they refine their focus and who they're helping, which is exactly what happened to me, because after a while of writing about personal development, I started throwing in what I was doing to make money online, and people got really interested. So I wrote more about that, and people wanted to know more. And eventually I created my first product on that, and it sold really well. So how did I find my passion? I found it through trying, experimenting, and taking action. Because remember, I started trying in 2006. And I had my first success in 2009 when I built a website on a topic that I was kind of interested in. But then at the end of 2009, I went after something I really was passionate about, which was personal development. And then later that turned into online business, which is something I really enjoy helping people with, because it helps you liberate yourself from the quote unquote system and give you the freedom that you deserve. So this allowed me to move to Spain with my girlfriend. And like I said, we spent most of the year of 2010 there, and we had a lot of fun. I got brushed up on my Spanish skills because I'd been in Spain before, and we made a lot of good Spanish friends, ate some good food, and really had a good time. And then after 11 months, in November of 2010, we returned home, which was to Finland. Now, I earlier said I lived in Sweden, which I did, but then I also own an apartment in Finland, which is right on the border to Sweden. So, and when I say right on the border, I mean literally on the border, because I can see Sweden from my balcony and I could walk to Sweden in 2 minutes. And from there, I've just been refining what I do, experimenting and learning all I can about online business. It's something I can't stop learning more about. And each day when I wake up, I think about how I can do something better and how I can help my clients and customers get better and better results. So I've learned a lot, and above all, I've made a ton of stupid mistakes. I've been scared of taking action. I've been overwhelmed with all the information out there, and I still get overwhelmed. And I've also wanted to give up many, many times. And like I said earlier, I have given up, but I've always come back because this is something I want to do, and this is something I want to get better at. So if you feel like you're not succeeding, or if you're scared or overwhelmed or just plain stuck, you have to keep going, because you can do this. It's just a matter of taking action until you figure it out. Now, would I do anything differently if I was starting out now with everything I know today? I think I'd tell that younger me just starting out to focus on the right metrics. So focus on how I'm going to make money with any one project, and also focus on one project at a time and stop chasing and falling for all these get-rich-quick schemes and people who promise that you'll make thousands a month if you just follow their system. Because if it's too good to be true, then it probably is. Building an online business takes hard work, and anyone who says that it's going to be easy or that you can just follow a system is wrong, because you have to, in the end, figure this out for yourself and figure out what works for you and what doesn't. Now, sometimes you can follow someone else and they can give you guidance and assistance, but in the end, you are the one who has to take responsibility for your success. And even though I'm teaching this stuff and sharing, I'm constantly also learning. So I'm also a student, and I don't see myself as a guru or someone who knows something, because it's impossible to know everything. Now, something you may be wondering is why I do this. Why do I give so much of what I know away for free? And first, I have to say that I fell for many of the get-rich-quick schemes, and I want to change that. I want to change the whole online landscape. Many people don't want to get into this whole make money online space because there's so much dishonesty going on. But that's exactly why I wanted to do this, because if there's so much dishonesty out there, then there needs to be someone who tells the truth and shares what's really going on from their own experience. Plus, it doesn't hurt that I'm really passionate about this topic. I'm really passionate about freedom and blending both personal development and online business together. And I also know firsthand the power of being able to work from home and operate what I call a lifestyle business. I can do what I want, when I want, and from where I want. As long as I have a laptop and an internet connection, I'm just fine. And this freedom is more important to me now than ever before, because I just became a father last December in 2011, so I get to work from home and see my son grow up, which is just amazing. Now, it's not always a distraction-free environment, but it's something I have never been a part of before, so it's both fascinating and sometimes very tiring, but in the end, it's amazing to see him grow up, see him start to crawl, explore the world, and soon start taking his first steps. And it's also made me more determined to take my business to the next level, because I really want to provide for him and my family. And in the end, I truly believe that you can do this as well, if you're determined enough to let go of the old and embrace the new. And that's really what lifestyle liberation is all about. It's about liberating yourself from the system, from a 9-to-5 job, and from the beliefs that hold you back. Because the only thing standing between you and what you truly want to do are your beliefs. Or, in other words, your thoughts. Now, to me, this is not about making millions every year, although there's nothing wrong with that. It's more about making enough to be able to live the lifestyle you desire, to be able to live on your own terms. And building an online business or lifestyle business is not easy, but then again, nothing worthwhile is. If you want to live a life of freedom, you have to be willing to push your boundaries, and you have to be willing to dive into the uncertainty, because everything you want in life is just beyond your comfort zone. I don't remember who said that, but it's true. You have to be willing to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And you have to just take small steps every single day to get closer to where you want to be. So in the upcoming episodes of this podcast, we'll dive deeper into how you can build a lifestyle business around your passion that allows you to say bye-bye to the 9-to-5 grind. And I'll most likely have a mix of episodes where it's just me talking like this, and where I bring on guest experts and we have a conversation about a particular topic. And before I end this first episode, I just want to leave you with one tip that I've learned by going through all of the failures and mistakes, and that is to never give up on your dreams. I know people tell you that it's not realistic or practical, but in the end, what makes you come alive and what you feel called to do is what you need to go after. Even if, I know that may sound cliche or woo-woo, but that's true, because if you want to be happy in life, if you want to feel fulfilled, you have to go after that which you're afraid to go after. And if you really want to do this, you have to be ruthless about it. You have to commit. Don't give up, but just keep moving forward every single day, and you'll get to where you want to be. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a bumpy road, but it's going to be worth it. And I personally think people give up way too soon. Now, my son Vincent has just learned to crawl, and he's standing up against things. He's trying all day long, so he's falling over, trying again. Then he hits his head, cries, tries again, hits something else, and cries again. And I've never seen anyone try so hard, although in reality, he doesn't view it as trying, because he doesn't have that concept in his head. He's just playing and exploring. And we never tell babies to stop trying to walk. And we should never tell ourselves to stop trying to follow our passion, or trying to follow that something we feel called to follow. Because you can't fail unless you give up. And sometimes the dreams you have will change, especially when you start taking action. So you don't have to have it all figured out to take the first step. So I'm going to leave it at that for today. And I hope you enjoyed this first episode of the Lifestyle Liberation Podcast. Now, if you're curious and would like to know more about what I do, you can find me over at wakeupcloud.com. henry.com. So I hope to see you in the next episode. This is Henry signing out. Bye for now.